Hi, I'm Amber Bass. I'm originally from Oklahoma, but I'm currently in Crawley, Texas, and I am a senior corporate counsel attorney. My journey to get here has been interesting and non-traditional. So I started with a company called Boeing, working on the B-1 bomber program. My very first contract was $14 billion. So over time, I went from Boeing, then I started working for IBM, and then I went to Fidelity, and then I started an interesting role with an alternative legal service provider, where my position was to take companies and make them more efficient, mainly legal departments. So what I did was I went into these companies, and they're Fortune 500 companies like Nike, Facebook, Microsoft, and I would revamp their legal processes. I would create playbooks, I would create templates, and I would create a team who would work on chunks of their legal work for them. And then from there, I went to my first AI company, loved it, and then now I'm currently senior corporate counsel at another company where we're implementing AI. So I sit on the AI council. I was looking for specific AI to help in legal work. And as I was looking, I stumbled upon an ad for Micro One on LinkedIn. And they had little part-time positions where you could train AI. I'm an AI nerd, I love AI, and I decided, yeah, I want to do this. So I applied, I got the job, and so now I perform projects for Micro One AI on my side hustle. So I have pretty significant technology skills just based on my history and my trajectory getting to this point. So I'm really good with tech. However, I was shocked with these Micro One projects that I don't think you would need very much technology skills. Obviously, you have to know how to work Word, but that's about it. If you can work a computer, you can definitely do this. The onboarding process was relatively easy. Once I had my interview with my project manager, she was very detailed in what to expect. I got a few emails to help set up my accounts, and everything was kind of laid out in front of us in Slack. And then we got all the documents that we needed. And then, of course, our project manager was available at all hours of the day to answer any questions that we might have. The legal knowledge is just my everyday knowledge, what I do every day. So you had to understand contract clauses and what changes mean and how they affect other clauses in the contract. If you negotiate contracts, it's contract 101. We were training AI in redlining. So it was essentially a real world experience where we were broken up into two teams, and we each had a set of contract positions that we needed to abide by. And we negotiated against each other, exchanging red lines back and forth. And then with every change we made, we had to create a rubric that, from what I understand, is what is actually going to be training the AI. And we just simply explained what we changed and why. Because I'm senior corporate counsel at a corporation, my day is pretty much set. I work 8 to 5. So it's not that hard to juggle Micro One after hours and on weekends, and it doesn't take a lot of my time. Because of my experience, I redline a little bit faster than most people do. So it really wasn't difficult to juggle at all. I would do it a few hours in the evening and a couple hours on the weekends, and that was it. The hardest part of the whole project was definitely the rubric. That's not something I'm used to. It's also not something that I have been exposed to in my previous AI life. So it was definitely a learning curve, and Isabel, our project manager, definitely had to do a lot of hand-holding through that, not only with me, but with the rest of the group too. But we had a workshop, and there was a gentleman named Charles, who is one of the experts at Micro One that has been doing this for a while. He gave me some really, really good advice and feedback. And once it clicked, and it was easy after that. But initially trying to figure out how we had to organize this rubric was probably the most difficult. I am an AI nerd. So I love AI. It excites me. It doesn't make me nervous because I am so familiar with it. In the legal field, I think that is going to be an amazing addition to help us lawyers focus on what's most important and let AI deal with the rest. The legal sector has always been adverse to technology, and AI is no different. Fun fact, the legal industry was the last to adopt Microsoft and Word, if that tells you anything. So it has been a struggle pulling people along, especially older attorneys that may be a little bit more adverse to technology. So the best thing that I've done in being on the AI counsel at my current position is super helpful, because we just kind of force people to use it and say, just use it for this, just use it for this little piece. I also give AI credits, and I don't take credit for AI, so people can understand what AI has done. An example is I have to develop metrics every month, and it takes me all day usually to do it manually. With AI, it takes me literally a minute to do. And then, telling these other people, look, if you use AI, you can do it too. And so they're starting to come around, but the legal industry is probably going to be one of the toughest to get to adopt, but we'll do it. In my lifetime, AI will never take my job, and it will not replace lawyers ever, in my opinion. First of all, there are too many nuances. AI is not capable of. You're dealing with emotions, you're dealing with how does the judge act? What does the judge lean to? So AI can't give legal advice. So I am not afraid that AI is going to take my job in the slightest. AI is also not going to take other jobs like a paralegal job or a legal assistant job, because we still need that human interaction. We still need that human touch, because we're still dealing with human beings who are going through this trauma of whatever is bringing them to an attorney in the first place. Even in corporate law, you still have counterparties that are humans, and you're still dealing with that. All AI is going to do is make your job easier, and it's going to take the busy work off of your plate so you can do more with less. You can be more strategic, you can be more focused on your actual work, and AI is just going to assist you on that. So don't be afraid of AI. It's not going to take your job. So I think AI is not necessarily going to change the industry. I think it's going to enhance the industry over the next few years, especially. I think as AI gets better and certain things like the hallucinations kind of wane a little bit, I think AI is going to be a great tool. Just like LexisNexis and Westlaw to attorneys was a great tool for finding case law to support your position and things like that. I think it also will help you be a better attorney. I know for myself, I tend to get annoyed and a little bit short with certain responses. And I know that the tone of my email is not what I want the counterparty to see. So I'll run it through AI and be like, make this a little softer. And it will. And then I read it through, and I have found myself mimicking that tone more and more. So I think it will help us in communicating better, and the assistance it will provide to us will be better, but it's just going to be an assist. It's not going to drastically change law. So most of my lawyer friends are resistant and think AI is going to take their jobs. So my response to them is just try it. It's not. And once you use it, you're going to understand this. This isn't iRobot. They're not going to rise up and take over and things like that. Maybe they will one day, but not in the legal field. So just try it is my advice. Give it a shot. There's a lot of free AI. Understand, though, what you are putting into AI and what the security requirements are. Us as lawyers, we have a lot of confidential information we deal with. We have a lot of privileged information. So don't put that in AI, a free version, because it will train on it and that will be an issue. But just try it for, your mundane tasks that you hate doing. Let it review an NDA for you and see what happens. You'll love it. I wish AI would hurry up and just do my laundry. Like, as soon as we have robots that are consistent, that can cook and clean and do my laundry and do the stuff that I don't want to do, I will buy it. On the professional side, I wish AI would just hurry up and be more consistent, not hallucinate as much. But I know the more we train it and the more skills that we give it, it will be better. And eventually it'll be to the point where we don't have to clean up mistakes by the AI. I did stumble into this by accident, but I love it. And I totally think training AI is one of my things. And the interesting thing about it is by doing this project, it has forced me to not be on autopilot like I typically am. And it has forced me to really think about, why am I making this edit? And, getting back to the basics, which is nice because when you've been doing it for as long as I have, you get stuck on autopilot and you know what needs to be there, you know why. But when you have to articulate it, it kind of grounds you and brings you back to that spot where you're really thinking about what you're doing. And the AI component, I'm super excited to see what's going to happen with that. My experience with Micro One AI has been amazing. Everybody is so helpful. It's a very supportive team environment. You're not pressured to do anything. They understand that most of us have full-time jobs that are important. So you're able to take tasks as you're able to, and they don't put any pressure on you for that. They're very helpful. I myself have referred several colleagues to Micro One AI, and I suggest anybody with any type of skill, not just legal skill, to look into it because they have such a wide breadth of tasks that they need help with. So I suggest everybody look into it. Micro One has given me the opportunity to really think about what I do and why I do it. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and the grind on a day-to-day basis, but working with Micro One has allowed me to kind of slow down and think, why am I making this edit? And why is that important? So training AI is very eye-opening because it does make you reevaluate why you do the things you do.